Hello, wonderful world. It's Jennifer here at Eureka Astrology and Healing. And today we're going to be talking about the astrological forecast for the Taurus full moon partial lunar eclipse. It's going to be on October 28th at 3:24 p.m. Central Standard Time. And as always, adjust your clocks accordingly, according to where you live. And also, this is a general forecast. If you're interested or curious to see how this will affect you potentially, or if you're just interested in your birth chart or your year ahead, check out my website at Eureka Astrology and Healing and see what I offer. I'm happy to take a look at your chart because really, as always, this is just a little snippet here and also a general forecast of what's going on at this time, and I'm not seeing where it's affecting your houses or your planets or anything like that. So it's going to be more of a overall overview of energy in the universe and the collective. With that being said, let's talk about the notables. The first very energetic and prominent notable is that there is a lot of fixed energy, meaning there are planets and signs that are attributed to energy that is the in-between of the seasons. And so meaning like Aquarius holds down winter, Scorpio, which will be Scorpio season, of course, holds down fall, meaning the energies aren't really shifting. The weather is kind of consistent, so to speak, if you want to look at it elementally. But what does that mean for people? Well, the same kind of thing. Maybe we're going to feel a little stubborn. We don't want to change our ways, just kind of holding on to things physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of those, any which way you can imagine. So that's the first notable, is that there is a lot of fixed energy. And it doesn't mean that there isn't other energies at play, just a very strong emphasis. So be on the lookout for people being a little bit stubborn and potentially yourself. The next is, of course, it's a partial lunar eclipse, and I will talk about how I feel it affects the overall flavor or feeling and story of the chart, but it's not going to so as you know, with eclipses, in this case it's a lunar, first of all, the sun and the moon are opposing each other to make this full moon, and the orbit in the eclipse will make it so that the light of the sun will not fully get blocked, right, by the earth. So we'll still see the moon some, but not fully. So I find it fascinating and interesting is that full moons are culminations and illuminating and brings this fullness, and yet this one is a partial eclipse. So some of that energy is being, I don't want to say taken back, but for a moment it's you don't get to see everything quite as clearly, or maybe the story is not as full as it normally would be. Maybe there's some reworking, reassessing, and I have the word reorientating as well within this chart. So another theme I have is what is kind of hiding in the shadows a little bit. But take note. And as I said, it's Scorpio season, so that's the next notable, because the sun is going to be in Scorpio to help create this full moon. But there's also two planets, Mars and Mercury, two personal planets, meaning they move quickly and they affect us quickly in our charts. But sometimes the effects aren't long lasting. Sometimes they are, but they're just kind of, I don't want to call them the speedsters of, the zodiac, but they're just going a lot quicker than some of the outer planets, the more generational planets and the collective planets. And so I would say be on the lookout for scorpionic themes, but it's going to be scorpionic. We're right before Halloween, so All Hallows Eve or Samhain. And so what is Scorpio best known for? Then transformation, death, and rebirth. As we know, fall, you can see behind me, I probably won't be outside too much longer because I can only handle being so cold, but things are starting to fall away. Think of the leaves falling off trees in the northern hemisphere here. Things are going inward. It's time, and that's what Scorpio kind of represents. It's digging in, going deep, and not being afraid to look at things are ending here a little bit, right? It doesn't mean that things won't start anew again, but not right away. So Scorpio is also known to be passionate, wants to deeply connect, can want to get to the bottom of things, be a detective. So maybe people are going to try and get to the bottom of things, and then it's going to be again woven into this chart, but very scorpionic. And also another word I had is passionate. There, it may not be outward, it might be some Don Juan. It's more of this deep, intimate passion being with one-on-one energy. So that is also another theme. And let's get into the story of what I feel is the chart. And I've been working on, and I hope I'm doing a little bit better job at making it a little bit less about aspects and saying the planetary stuff, and making it a little more relatable as like themes, or, you know, like I said, just things that can be a way to connect more on a personal story way, versus like, well, this planet's like this and this planet's like that, because I have to remember, and I'm trying to remember, that not everyone knows what planet, what sign, all this stuff means. So let's get into it. And this main story that I saw, there's a lot of interesting things going on here, but it's the keyword seesaw effect. So maybe this is actually how it's going to play out. Like, I mean, I know it's such a simple phrase, but like, it's not necessarily black and white, but like this way or that way. And like this energy is kind of going back and forth. And the reason I say that is, so we talked about Scorpio, right? The sun is there, and then Mercury and Mars. And so there's this spotlight, there's this drive, there's this deep penetrating, like there's this deep penetrating thought too. Like we're really focused in on this, and then this passion, and getting to the bottom of things. And so there's the stellium, the 3 planets for, you know, technical terms. And then on the other end, or I should say 2 planets and a luminary. On the other end, there's also a luminary and 2 planets. So there's this very strong energy, and it doesn't mean there's other planets in the chart, but there's a strong focal point, and they're kind of playing, like I said, tug of war or seesaw. And so on the other side is the moon, that's the luminary, and then Jupiter and Uranus. So those planets are moving slower. We kind of talked about the other ones up in Scorpio going fast, and people are like getting into it and getting passionate. And this is kind of like a slow down and a turn in, and it's a lot more practical. So the seesaw that I'm seeing here, maybe what people are going to be feeling is potentially, what is the word? Not a tear, but like wanting to be passionate and going forward and digging in, and like, you know, going with that scorpionic passion and wanting to transform. And then that Taurus energy being like, not that there isn't transformation being called for, and there really is with Taurus, but it's like, let's get practical about this. Let's slow down and make sure that this is really what we want to do. And so like one of strong and fast, you know, kind of powerful action, and the other one's like slow and it can be powerful, but more transformative. And so I find that just a little bit fascinating. And so if you want to know anything at all, that could be the main theme of this, is like, I want to transform fast now, but then there's another part saying like, slow down, wait. We got to reassess what we're doing to transform here. And that's very important. And, you know, what I have here too is that this eclipse is, as I said, taking away the illumination of, you know, this energy. This is an Earth Mother's moon. And so to give a little bit of a story, and I think it's very important, and this Earth Mother moon is from the Raven Caldair's moon phase astrology, is that the Earth Mother moon, and this is something we might be seeing here too, is that this is Mother Earth at her, I don't want to say her highest, but like highest expression, but like she has resources. But she also realizes she has seasons and cycles, and these resources come and they go. It's not like this moon is like, I'm going to give, in a Cancerian way. It's like, no, I can give, and sometimes things are going to go away. And so this moon is a very practical, patient, accountable moon. So at this time, if you want to think about this, say we want to like decode, where do we need to be patient, accountable, with practical about our emotions, but then bring it in about how we're connecting with our emotional security with our materials and our values and how we value ourselves. Slow down, take a look. It's not, I don't want to say feast or famine, but it's like, how can we have, and, you know, save for a rainy day, but also enjoy what we have, and realize sometimes things will go away. It's not always going to be a full bounty. And like I said, that practicality of that mother is like, you know, I guess today we don't have food, tomorrow we'll figure it out. Let's be patient, let's be calm, you know, that kind of thing. And if there's not enough, how do we make this fair for everyone too? It's not like, well, you get a ton and you get, you know, it's not favorites, you know, here. There's not a lot of favoritism going on in this moon, if you're looking for that. And with this eclipse, like here we go, there's practicality and patience. There's a shadow going over this. Like, are we not being as accountable with our resources or how we value ourselves? Kind of take a look into that a little bit, because I think that's really important. And I just feel like there's some things hidden in the shadow about that. The other thing I saw in kind of this vision with the aspects of the planet Jupiter is in Taurus. It's been there for a bit. It's retrograde, meaning really its energy is amplified. And so Jupiter's an energy of more, right? I want more. Like, I want to go out more, do more, have more, be more. And it's also joyful and expressive. And when it gets so amplified, it's like, oh, I ate too much. I drank too much. In a material sign, a physical sign, I got the vision of the cup has run over a little bit and we need to reorientate. Are we like just taking everything in just to make sure we have stuff? Like I said, the Earth Mother, like, she realizes that there's maybe not going to be stuff every day, but that overall Taurus energy, you know, we're not talking about the specific moon, is going, I need as much stuff as I possibly can have to feel comfortable, to feel safe, to feel supported physically. And it's like, well, there's too much of something. Whether it's like maybe you're pulling in so many different values about yourself that you don't really see your core ones, or maybe you are bringing so much material into your life that you're not seeing what's of value, and you're just cluttering up your home. And then it becomes then, and I think about this as too much. It's not giving you an opportunity for anything new to come into that space of value, or maybe it's in your physical space or material space. It's just like, I'll just take what I can get. It's like, we need to reorientate and go, what do we actually need here? What materials need to be assessed? What actions need to be assessed to get us to that point of like, I need to maybe let go of some of these things, right? And that's where the Scorpio sun can help us, because Scorpio gets us down to the core of the issue. So maybe Scorpio's like, why are we holding on to all these materials? What's it really doing for us? How is this serving us? Is it helping us feel powerful? Is it helping us actually not be in our power, right? Like maybe disempowering us, but for our own, like maybe we have a reason for that. Maybe we don't want to be seen as someone who has authority or presence. You know, these are deeper, you know, things that we don't have to talk about now, but, you know, Scorpio can help us kind of get to the meat of the problem, and that is a very good thing, and it can help us kind of stabilize that situation here. And the other part about this moon is actually caring very much about the physical, so to speak. And so, one of them is like, are you taking care of your body? Are you eating nourishing food? Are you doing nourishing things for your spirit, for your soul? Right? Are you getting good sleep? Are you getting good quality touch? And so, you know, a lot of us like to live in the spiritual, but all of these things are linked. Doing these good things for our body, healthy things, supporting things, nourishing things, help link with a supported spirit, right? Like the spirit is, while we're on the planet Earth, in a physical form, and it needs to be supported, loved, held, taken care of, right? And so that's something to really, for us to kind of look at. And, you know, are we doing things that are just outdated, a little bit worn out in that situation where it's like, yeah, I'm exercising like 5 minutes a day and it's like meditation, which is good. I mean, maybe you consider that an exercise, but maybe you need to put some cardio in there. Maybe you need to do some jazzercise. Maybe you need to do, who knows, right? I don't want to like label what people need, but maybe it might need to change because like it's a little too comfortable, right? Taurus is a little too stable. And maybe it's just kind of like you've outgrown it, or your body needs something different and new to help keep it going in a healthy, positive way. So maybe take a look at that and get into those new discoveries. And like I was talking about, like with grabbing and having and holding and keeping and materials, you know, and feng shui and just the energies of the universe, as we bring in more and more and more, right, to make sure we have what we need. I think about, a home, like the bigger the home, the more stuff is usually in it because it's big, right? Like that space just wants stuff in it. Energy abhors a vacuum. But then as you bring in more and more and more, I can speak from experience, it feels weighty. Like, oh my God, there's too much here. Like it feels like responsibility. It feels like there's just too much weight almost. But also then where's the space for that something new to come in? So like this is a good time on this full moon, even though, usually full moons are not about release. It's a little bit more about new. There is a bit of like, I guess I would say, honor what you have. That's the full part. This is what I have. This is what the earth provides me. This is how I connect with the earth. And it's like, but look at these materials. They're still very valuable and worth something, but I think maybe I should give them away or whatever. Put them in their proper place where they're needed, right? And by releasing that energy out of your life and maybe doing something good for somebody else, then it opens up an area and a space for you where maybe something that you need new come in. So like, it's a good time for this, really, to like let those things go so something new and transformative, Scorpio, can come in. And really, like, we're being asked to while we're doing this, is to stabilize this. And this is gonna, you know, by like releasing things and getting to the bottom of it, it's kind of clearing out kind of the junk, and we're being asked to stabilize and make a new foundation. And by doing this, it's a healthier foundation. Like, I've gotten rid of my junk. I've kind of got to the bottom of my issues here with why I've keeping this junk. And then it's like, oh, this new stuff can come in and I can create a new foundation for my hopes, my wishes, my dreams. You know, instead of having a foundation built on, you know, something that's just a little bit old and you know, like if you keep too much stuff and you can't take care of it, you know, rotten even potentially, so to speak, let it go. And really, I feel like that is this, like the bulk of this chart. There's a lot of other things going on. I don't want to dismiss it, but that's the energy that I'm feeling from it. And there's a lot of practicality. I didn't put that into it, but I mean, I said that with the Taurus, but it's fostered with other parts of the chart. Like it's time to kind of like look at the details, get practical about it, don't get emotional about it. Even though it's Scorpio, this moon is like, no, don't. Yeah, you liked that object and maybe it made you feel comfortable at some time, but let it go. Let the sentiment go. You don't really need it. It's not going to really make you feel emotionally good. That's an illusion. And you'll feel more empowered when you do that. And my little message for this whole reading, I kind of thought about it, and it's like, honor the body and you'll honor the earth. Honor the earth and you'll honor the bodies. There's something about really connecting with the earth and the good things that it does for us, and how it doesn't have to take you away from the spiritual or in the enlightened. It actually is a deeper connection just by connecting to the seasons. I know I was doing my stuff in my garden the other day, and I was like, wow, this is making me present. This is right here, right now. I am cutting back dead plants and getting ready for winter and the next season right here, right now. This is what needs to be done because I only have so much time. I wasn't thinking about the future. I wasn't thinking about the past. And so start to begin to honor, or continue to honor, or, you know, seek out honoring cycles and what the earth is giving you and how you are connected to it. And I think that's going to be a really valuable little bit of information and exercise in this time, because in the Northern Hemisphere we're going into winter and we're going to go deeply in after about a month and a half here, I would say. With that, I'm Jennifer, Eureka Astrology and Healing, and may the plants ground you and the stars guide you. Ciao for now.